Hi, this is Errol from Team Beta. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to use the Codepop console. So while you're in beta, press enter to open up the console. And there are a number of components and panels that come up when you enter into console. The first thing to know is that the game will pause when you go in here. So you'll notice that the moving platform is in motion, and when I press enter, it stops. So the entire world comes to a freeze so that you can enter your commands in peace. So first of all, to open, press enter, and then if the input window, which is right here, is empty, you can press enter again. Or if you hit escape, it'll get rid of the helper, and then if you hit escape again, it'll allow you to leave the console. So the input field is where you will type in your commands. So I'm going to type in a quick command here, add crate, and you press enter or return to run the command. And when you run a command, although the world is paused, it'll move one tick forward in the time so that that command can put whatever object in or execute whatever rules that you've applied in that one moment, and then it pauses it again. So if I go back out, you'll see that my crate has now fallen, and so that's how you essentially run a command. So as I mentioned, this is where you type your command in. You'll notice that this panel underneath it, which is called the command panel, is basically telling me my options that I can input at the moment. So instead of adding a crate this time, I can choose to add a ball. So I'll change it to ball, and now my ball is there. The command panel has a little bit of information at the bottom. So when you're typing in a command, you're going to end up typing in a sequence of different pieces of information. This panel will tell you at all times what it's expecting next. So in the beginning, it's expecting a package or a command. Once it knows what the command or package is, it'll now ask for, based on the add command, it'll say, okay, now it's looking for a class, which is essentially a type of object. And I can use the arrow keys to navigate up and down. I could also select objects with the mouse, and if I double click, it'll automatically place it into the input at the next available in the next available space. But also, if I use the tab key, it'll also autocomplete. And once again, I can add an actor to the stage and run that command. Now, this panel here, which is the tooltip, if you highlight a command, will tell you what that command does. And as you step through, it's pretty useful to kind of look it up in that way. But there's another way that you can look up commands, and that's using the question mark command. So if I type question mark add, in the output window, you'll see a full description of what the command does, the expected syntax, an example of a working example of that command, and then some related commands that you may want to look up. So I can question mark call. The column command allows you to build a column of objects, and it shows me here an example of this command. In addition, in the input window, it'll actually place all of the different pieces of information that you're going to need down. If you click inside of it, it'll help explain what that piece of information needs to look like. So for the call command, it needs to know the type of object or class used to create the row. So I'm going to make a ball. It needs to start X location. Now when you're in the console and you need to find a location, you can mouse around and see the X and Y location of different objects and different empty spaces on the grid. So this platform is located at X0, Y10. Beta is located at X0, Y9. And this moving platform is located at X7, Y9. So I want to build my column starting at 0, 8. So X0, Y8, and the length will be the number of objects. I'm going to put 3, and I'm not going to add any setters, and then when I run that, you'll see that 3 balls appeared there. I'll do another example here with platforms. So call platform 0, 8, -3, which will build up, and now I'll build a column of platforms. Now, if you're in the input and you want to go back in your history and see what commands you've written, you can go back up to 25 commands if you hold Shift and press up. And then if you hold Shift and press down, it'll take you forward. Now if you find the command that you like and you want to reuse it, you can simply start editing it, or you can just run it again by pressing the Enter key, and you can execute that command. Your output window will show you the history of things that are happening in your beta session, from things that you're coding to help information. You can close this or by clicking here, and you can reopen it there. You can scroll, and you can also drag the bottom up and down to allow you to move through it. Sometimes when you run a command, you want to undo it. So by typing the undo command, you can continue to undo the things that you've done, and you can do that up to 25 times as well. So I believe that covers just about everything in the Codepop helper and the Codepop console. So good luck coding, look up some cool commands and try them out. If you have any questions, post them into the comments below. Thanks.